From the #1 station, this is a story about love. A love story.
The 1970s was a golden era for reggae, but it was also a time of wild energy, larger-than-life personalities, and real-life drama. Behind the music were stories so intense, so unbelievable, they could easily pass for scenes from a movie. Out of that fiery era rose two powerful names who stood tall in the reggae and dancehall world, Dillinger and Joseph Hill. Both men were driven by sharp talent, commanding presence, and a deep respect within the scene, carving their own paths and leaving a lasting mark on the culture. Joseph Constantine Hill was the commanding voice behind the legendary reggae group Culture. Formed in the mid-1970s, Culture quickly became one of the most influential roots reggae groups of the era, known for its deeply conscious lyrics and spiritually grounded sound. Joseph Hill's songwriting tackled powerful themes: Rastafari philosophy, the connection to Africa, social injustice, and the daily struggles of oppressed people. Their iconic album 2/7's Clash became a defining statement of roots reggae, blending prophetic messages with infectious rhythms. Hill's approach was marked by a calm yet commanding presence. He carried his music with a spiritual focus, unwavering principles, and an unshakable commitment to truth. Dillinger, born Lester Bullock, was one of the early pioneers of the DJ style in reggae. Rising in the 1970s, he became known for his playful energy, sharp wit, and fearless presence on the microphone. He worked closely with legendary producers like Lee Scratch Perry and helped push the sound of toasting to new audiences. Songs like Cocaine in My Brain gave him international recognition, and his style influenced many DJs who came after him. These were two very different personalities, one playful and teasing, the other disciplined and grounded. And when those two energies collided, it created a moment that almost turned tragic. This happened in 1977, when reggae music was growing fast all over the world. Many Jamaican artists were traveling to perform in places like the UK and the United States. In New York, a promoter named Ken Williams brought a group of reggae artists to perform shows. I'm dancing to you. The first show was at the famous Beacon Theater. The lineup included Inner Circle, Meditations, Monica Band, Culture, and Dillinger. Copeland Forbes, a veteran promoter and legendary manager who worked with artists like Black Uhuru, Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff, the Mighty Diamonds, and Dennis Brown was managing the tour and handling everything. At the start, the show was going great. Inner Circle, led by Jacob Miller, had the crowd excited. But suddenly, someone in the audience fired a gunshot into the ceiling. Panic broke out, and everyone ran. The show ended right there, but luckily, no one was badly hurt. The show had to be moved to a later date. To save money, all the artists were placed together in a house in Brooklyn. At first, everything was calm, but after a few days, things started to change. Too many strong personalities in one place, with nothing to do, began to cause problems. During their stay, Dillinger just wouldn't leave Joseph Hill alone. He kept teasing him, mocking him in front of everyone, pushing buttons just to get a reaction. At first, Hill tried to ignore it, but there's only so much a person can take. One day, the teasing went too far. Words turned into shoves, and then into a fight. Even though Dillinger was quick with his words, he wasn't ready for Hill's strength. Hill beat him badly before anyone could step in, and the house erupted in laughter. That day, Dillinger became the joke. Everyone was talking about it, whispering, laughing. Later, Dillinger left the house. Everyone assumed he was just going for a walk or visiting friends. No one suspected what he had in mind. When he returned, the energy in the house shifted instantly. The laughter stopped. People went quiet. Dillinger walked in with a gun in his hand, eyes scanning the room, clearly looking for Hill. Meanwhile, Joseph Hill was in the kitchen, completely unaware, cooking rice and cabbage. He was humming a tune, focused on his food, not knowing that danger was right behind him. Then Dillinger found him and pointed the gun straight at him. The room went completely silent. Hearts were pounding. Everyone froze, unsure of what would happen next. It was a moment nobody would ever forget. A brush with violence that could have ended everything in an instant.
Get up and move your feet.
Everyone rushed in, expecting the worst. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. But instead of pulling the trigger, Dillinger did something no one saw coming. He asked Joseph Hill for some of the rice and cabbage stew. Hill, still shaken and quiet, quickly served him a big plate. Dillinger sat down and started eating. Slowly, the anger that had filled the room began to fade. Then, to everyone's surprise, he started laughing. The tension broke instantly. Before long, everyone in the house was eating, laughing, and smoking together like nothing had happened. What could have been a tragedy ended up just being another wild, unforgettable story. That is it, people. I am your host, Raz Levy. Until next time, blessed love.
Body ain't confused no more.
Tell me about it.
I love it when I'm high, see the spark while singing.
From the sound that leads away.
Been waiting for a sign.
Hear what the brothers say. Each and every day.
Now I'm dancing to your vibe.
Music is sweet for your dancing feet. So get up and move your feet. Let love shine bright along the way. Let love shine in your heart each and every day.